Welcome to the weekly intuitive art video. I'm so glad you're here. Today I think I have a fun prompt. I don't know, it's January and we're having a lot of rainy, cold weather here in North Carolina, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are having a lot of snow and cold weather. And maybe you're missing nature, maybe you're getting out in it every day anyway. Regardless, today's intuitive art prompt, I'm going to give us a prompt today, is abstract shapes of nature. Again, these prompts are just to get you going if you need to, but I want this to be yours however it needs to be. So if that doesn't feel right to you, you can have abstract shapes of whatever you want. So I'm starting by dividing my paper into 4 different zones. I really like that. I don't know, something about creating different shapes at the same time is just kind of fun to me. So I'm gonna have 4. I'm just eyeballing this because this is just my art journal. It's just for me, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to start thinking about abstract shapes of nature and what that might look like. I don't know. For everyone, it's going to be different. I don't know if you can hear, but it is pouring rain right now. I don't know if my microphone will pick that up, but it is so calming. I mean, I could take a nap right now, but I'm not. I'm here. We're doing it. I'm going to start today with a regular old pencil. Just a pencil. That's how I'm feeling. Usually I start with a China marker, but today this pencil is really calling to me. So I'm going to do abstract shapes of nature. So what does that look like? So I would put this in the category of doodling, which can be so therapeutic. It's kind of trying to bring that childlike playfulness back, where it's not perfect. We're not going for perfect. We're not trying to make a specific masterpiece. We're trying to just see what wants to be created and create it. No perfection here. Yep, so my shapes are looking like more doodly than anything, and that's great. That's fine. It's fun to do these like quick little drawings because there's plenty of space in life to do more complicated things, right? Like, we don't need to make time for more complicated things. If you're a professional artist, you know that you can spend so much time working on technique and whatnot. But do you ever give yourself time just to doodle, just for the fun of it, without caring what it looks like? Just like, oh, yeah, this weird plant thing just emerged, and there we are. All right, so there's my first one. Looks like a little cup of beans. It's funny. Let's see. Oh, a little spirally. Let's see. More of a furnish shape. So there's different ways of doing abstract. There's like super abstract where you can't, it's all interpretive. And then there's like semi-abstract where you can kind of sense what the artist is going for. It looks like mine are ending up in a semi-abstract way where you can be able to see what I was trying to do. Let's see. Got some leaf shapes here. Sometimes I go straight to paint. I don't want to like do sketching beforehand. And sometimes this feels like the right thing to do. I guess it just depends on my mood. Got some scratchy textures here. All right, put this away. I'm recording at my, whoopsies, sorry about that. I'm recording at my kitchen counter today because I have all my art supplies down here for my workshop. And as you all know, my loft is up this perilous ladder. It's like a dock ladder, and so carrying everything up and down is interesting. We'll just say that. So I just decided to do it down here today. I got this folk art matte olive green color. It's actually called Forest Moss. So I think I'm going to try a little bit of it up here. Let's see. There it goes. A little brush. Here we go. So I have my second workshop tonight. I'm so excited about it. The last one was so much fun. It's such a beautiful thing to create with other people, to bring a sense of community, which I have here, but it's also great to do that in person. I think we had just a really fun time. And so the second one is tonight. And I actually came up with an online version, which is pretty true to how the in-person one goes. And it's on my website if anyone's interested that isn't local to take the workshop. In that online one, I made some custom mandalas for coloring. It's just a fun thing to do to keep you working on your intuitive art practice. Trying to let go of perfection, let go of tension. Just relax, breathe, get in the flow, and create stuff. Just create with no care about what it looks like, no care about what other people are going to think, because this is just for you and your little art journal, your little art diary. It's just to get those creative juices flowing. I do intuitive art very regularly, most of every day, and I try to do it early in the morning. My days are all different. I have kids, so sometimes they're sick, or sometimes other things come up, so my days are always different, but I try to always have my intuitive art practice in the morning, because I notice if I can just let myself freely create without expectation, any of that stuff, then my creativity flows a lot better for the whole day. So I think, like Julia Cameron in her book, The Artist's Way, she talks about morning pages and how you can just get up and free write 3 pages in a journal, just whatever comes up, just to get it out. And like getting that creative flow going can just open up so much creativity for your day. Now, painting and writing are not the only ways to do this. There's like singing or cooking or gardening or whatever your thing is. Just about like getting those human flow going. I love it. I'm going to get up for a second. I forgot my favorite color. Sorry about that. I'm a human. I forget things. I got these 2 colors of Craft Smart matte acrylic paint, beach glass, and coral. I just found these at Michael's in the clearance section. They had like 4 of these for $2. So I got them because I'm always looking for cheap paints for doing this work. I have nice paints too that I really like for doing work that I need to use in a more traditional way. But for my journal, I like to have low stress. Sometimes when I have nice supplies that I want to use in my journal practice, I get stingy. I'm like, oh, that thing was expensive, so I'm not going to use it how I want to use it, how it feels right to use it. I'm going to be kind of stingy with it, so I don't want to use it up. But if I use less expensive materials, I'm a lot more free. I'm just doing it, I'm not so worried about it. So I know, even for those of you in the U.S., this is probably true everywhere. I don't know. We have a lot of thrift stores where people clear out their, art closet periodically. And you can find really nice art supplies at some thrift stores. It's worth checking out or calling around and seeing. Because, like all hobbies, people get ideas like, oh yeah, I can't wait to become an artist. And then they get all the supplies and they're like, well, it turns out that's not really my thing. Which is fine. It's great, right? No big deal. It benefits all of us that do like to get that stuff at a good price. Now I'm going to use the beach glass color. It's kind of like the sage blue that I have from Blick that I love so much. I have more of my non-traditional colors down here, which is good, right? It's good for me to mix it up. Oh, that's a beautiful color. It's more aqua-y than the sage blue I use. It's like oh, that's gorgeous. I noticed today I'm enjoying the texture of this. So it's a little more watery, this brand. Like the Blick has a lot of pigment in it, so it's a little bit more, maybe just tiny bit more thick. And I think the folk art is also, but this Craft Smart is really thinner. But I'm kind of liking that. It's kind of a really nice texture to work with. I think that's the joy. It's like you can like a lot of different things. You don't have to be married to one thing. I know Blick is my favorite, but it's also fun to use other things because you just get different results. You can see how it's more transparent. It's not so thick, which is kind of a cool effect sometimes. Oh yeah, I really like this. So on my YouTube channel, which is where you guys might be watching this, these videos are on my website and on YouTube, I'm starting to get more and more comments, and it makes me so happy. I'm brand new. I just started doing this in November, the video portion. I'm not brand new to all my feelings and thoughts about art. I've been doing that for quite some time. But as far as putting it on the internet, and it's really kind of cool. It feels like it's getting a little bit of traction and people are doing the videos, and I love hearing from you. So if you do this video and you are working on your abstract nature shapes or whatever you felt like doing today, share it with me. I want to see. I want to know. You can even email me if you don't want to share it publicly and just say, Andy, look, this is what I made. And I'll be like, oh my gosh. Never be nervous to share things with me because it is just makes my day to see what sort of things are happening in the world. And leave a comment. I love that too. It's just like I get comments about supplies I'm using, what tape I'm using, different ideas. It's really nice. Oh, this is fun. I've been doing, had some big projects with my graphic web design lately. I keep a pretty steady stream of freelance work. And so I've had a couple big projects going on. So I've not had as much time to just kind of sit and enjoy the quiet of this, because there's always that in the back of my mind. Oh, what do I have to do next? So right now I'm just really enjoying this and trying not to think about what needs to happen next. These are some interesting shapes. At my workshop, I kept asking the participants, are you able to stop thinking so much and just kind of make the paint appear on your brush and go for it? Or are you thinking about every choice you're making? Because my goal here, and everyone's different, and this is your life. You can make whatever goal you want to make. But my goal is always to just kind of go with it, not think too much. Because when I think too much, then I get critical. Or I start wondering, am I doing this right? All those things. I'm doing a big wash over this one. It feels what I want to do. Yeah, so I was asking them, are you thinking a lot? Are you able to just kind of let go and just get your paint on your brush and just go for it? And it was great because people were saying, I'm trying to just kind of let myself go, but I notice when I pause and I have to choose a different material or a different color, or I feel ready to do those things, my mind will want to have an idea, which is normal. We're humans, right? We're brain people. It's fine. It's all fine. There's no wrong way. It's just interesting to know where you are when your brain's turned on, and how you can try to navigate that a little bit differently so that it's maybe a little bit more relaxing instead of thinking. One way that really helps me, and I know I've talked about this in my videos, is to make sure I'm loosely holding my brush or whatever I'm working with, because how you hold something is how you feel. So if you're white knuckling your brush, you're going to feel that tension in your body. If you're gently holding it, well, that's going to translate into how you're feeling. Maybe you'll feel a little calmer, a little looser. So it's really interesting. I forgot to set my timer today, so I have no idea how long this will be. Just going to go with my intuition. We'll see what happens. So when I also had my workshop, I noticed people were much less likely to, so I had all the art supplies out, all of the ones I have, like paint sticks, paint markers, gelatos, pastels, pencils. And I noticed the acrylic paint didn't get as much play as other stuff. The other stuff was more interesting to people. And I wonder if that's because, paint, everyone's probably experienced some form of painting at some point in their life, but those other things can be kind of exciting and new. So I wonder, what are you using for your art practice today? I tend to start with paint, and then I end with my other media. Oh, this loose shapes here. Oh, I love it. I love nature. I love being outside. Love hiking, camping. Something that's really important to my family. So I would say painting nature shapes is a pretty regular thing for me. I really like painting landscapes. So I'm considering for our next video doing something really outside of my comfort zone, but I'm scared. You guys think I should do it anyway? I'm real scared. So I'm thinking of doing an intuitive self-portrait. So let me just tell you this. Drawing and painting people causes me so much tension because I just feel like it gets wild and crazy. It's not in my skill set to do that in a way that feels like, yay! So I'm like, oh gosh, can I do an abstract self-portrait on video? I'm thinking about it because I think it'd be just a really curious exploration. I think a lot of people might like it. So if it's abstract, then of course it doesn't have to have the characteristics of my actual self in physical form. But I think there would be a little bit of that pressure to maybe bring it in. I don't know. We'll see. See how it goes. Right now I'm just using these colored watercolor crayons. These are great, and if I add water to them, they'll blend really well. All right, let's see if I can get that to blend. Oh, that's so fun. Just kind of gives it some more texture and interesting. You can get watercolor pencils or crayons really inexpensively online, but also I'm pretty sure I've seen them at Michael's, because they make a version for kids, which is always much cheaper. Let me blot this. Oh, this rain is so relaxing. I love rainy days. You know, I love the sun too, but rainy days, it's like permission to be who I truly am, which is an introvert who likes to read and draw. When it's a nice day, it's like pressure to be out in the world doing world stuff. I mean, you don't have to, but that's how it feels in my body. I'm like, oh, it's so nice out. I guess I better get out there and do something. Which one are you? Are you an introvert who would have any excuse to stay home, or you like being out in the world doing your thing? Remember when I was in college, I would try to keep up with everybody, but I was always so tired. I remember being like, God, are you not tired from doing all the things? Some people are just made for it. Got that stamina. Like, you know, let's go to a baseball game and then go to the movies and then to a concert all in one day. And I'm like, whoa, I can do one thing. Like, could do the movie, but if I'm going to do the concert, I also can't have done anything the last week because I'm going to need to be fully recovered. But I could just be totally on my own in that way. And the older I get, the worse it gets. Like, I just want to be home. I think it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. It's all great. I really like this loosey-goosey scribbly shape down here. Let's see. I'm going to add some water. I really like using these watercolor crayons. Like, I don't dilute them fully. I don't blend them fully because I'm a texture person. I really like the way the different textures look together. but you could blend them pretty well fully in. So let's see, if I keep working at it, see, go all the way in. But I kind of like these little blotches of color. This is much more interesting. My kids got stickers for Christmas that say "perfect is boring." They put it on their water bottles. And I love that idea. Like, imperfection is so interesting. You know, it's not what's expected. That's what I love about intuitive art so much, is like, we're not focused on making something perfect because, well, that's just, it's honestly not that interesting. You know, we've seen perfect, we've experienced, and nature's not perfect, the world's not perfect. So I'm like really into this idea of just grabbing on to the imperfection of being human and being okay with that. Like, what's that look like for us if we just say, oh yeah, I'm going to make this imperfect thing. You know, I can show it to people or not. Doesn't matter. My choice. And I'm going to feel good about it because I just quickly did something to nourish my soul. Let's see, where is my... Oh, I think my watercolor pencils. They're upstairs. So I'm going to use this one. This is a woody stick. It's got a really thick point, which I love. The more precise a point is, you know, like, let's see, like a pencil. This was even a really thick pencil. The harder time I have relaxing. I think because the more precise a point is, the more I want to get into being more perfect with the shading. Like, colored pencils are tough for me because I don't know, I just want to be more precise, more specific, more controlled. But if these big tips, I don't have to have control because it's almost impossible to control them, which is really refreshing. So it's like, okay, I can't control this thing, so I'm not even going to try. It's kind of that mentality of what's the point of trying if it's not possible. Let's see. I think this is feeling pretty good to me. This journal is almost full, and I'm kind of super excited because it's such a reflection of who I am. And it's kind of like a snapshot of what I've been dealing with or going through in my life. And then when I get to start a new one, it's always curious, like, what is this next few months going to look like? You know what? I'm feeling like this is good. I'm done. I feel like therapeutic out. I gave these abstract plant shapes my best. This poor tape. Come on, let's not rip. Okay. I really enjoyed this journal. It was very inexpensive. It's just a mixed media journal. But I think next time I might get a watercolor journal, just because of the density of the paper. It's less likely to tear with tape. So this is pretty thin paper, which is great for this. And the price point was perfect, but you know, I might want to go with thicker paper for my next one. And then after I get done with that one for thicker paper, I might I'll be wanting to come back to this because that's how it goes. All right, so this was my intuitive art on the prompt abstract nature shapes, and here they are. Yeah, that was a really fun way to spend my time. All right, I hope to see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.